everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Stream Squad. I'm film critic Tony Toscano in Salt Lake City.
And I'm film critic Jeffrey K. Howard in Las Vegas. And welcome to the show. Tony, summer movie season is off to a big start with Top Gun Maverick, but now Dino Action is here with Jurassic World Dominion. I'm jealous. You got to sit down with the cast, didn't you?
I did, and listen, everybody's jealous about these interviews. Take a look.
Genetic power has now been unleashed.
We made a terrible mistake.
The doomsday clock might be about out of time.
In the film, dinosaurs have now spread all over the human world. This new and fragile balance will reshape the future and determine once and for all whether human beings are to remain the apex predators on the planet they now share with history's most fearsome creatures.
It is a massive movie. We truly have spared no expense. We have amazing action sequences. We have amazing dinosaur sequences. We have heart, humor, innovative technology, both as like a story point in the film, but also as a narrative around making this film. I mean, we're pioneering brand new technologies to make this film. We have more dinosaurs than you've ever seen in a Jurassic film.
Going back to Ian, was there any consternation on your part? Did you go, well, do I want to do this?
Oh no, Tony, no consternation like that, or no shilly-shallying about deciding. No, wild horses couldn't have stopped me from doing it. Colin Trevorrow, when we were working together a few years ago, said, I think in this third movie, which might be the last in this whole series, there's something good for you and for Sam Neill and Laura Dern to do. And right away, I was wildly intrigued.
As you said, getting the band back together, being with Sam Neill and Jeff Goldblum, and then, being alongside the other cast of the Jurassic World universe was just amazing. And then new characters who were just incredible actors, and who knew we would all move in together because we were going back to work, having started right before the global pandemic, that we would end up in lockdown and living together for months. And
in the bubble.
In the bubble. It became quite a family.
Ellie is such a strong character, and she always has been. I mean, this is nothing new, but I'm so glad that they've continued that kind of storyline for her.
Oh, that's great to hear. Thank you. Yeah, that was really important to all of us.
Jurassic is a very pro-female franchise. If you think about it, as it started, all the dinosaurs were women. They were women. All the dinosaurs were female. And they're inherent in that there's sort of the idealization of that female strength, female power.
Don't move.
You made a promise to a dinosaur.
Yeah. What?
Everybody hold on to somebody. That can't be right. What is that?
Biggest carnivore the world has ever seen.
Run!
See? Not so bad.
Again, Jurassic World Dominion is playing exclusively in theaters. It's rated PG-13. And Jeff, I hear on STARZ they're treating you like royalty.
They are. It's the 70th anniversary, the Platinum Jubilee of Elizabeth II, but we're going to go back a little bit in history with Elizabeth I. Becoming Elizabeth is the historical drama of an orphan teenager who becomes embroiled in the politics of the English court on her journey to secure the crown.
A woman woman's family arranges her marriage. The louder you protest, the more you fracture an already fractured country.
Don't make me, Edward. Please.
A king can't change his mind just because you want him to.
You think I've ever got what I've wanted? You're a princess. Exactly.
Your brother is the king.
Family is no protection.
But what do you want?
You to return as I once was. That girl is dead.
Alicia, audiences are familiar with shows like The Queen and The Crown, celebrating Elizabeth II. We're celebrating her 70th Platinum Jubilee right now, but this takes place hundreds of years before, about a story of an orphan teenager becoming a queen. I mean, that is just fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the absurd thing about it. You would think of it as like a glossy, glamorous world, and like the princess growing up, and then you dive into this world that is so dangerous and dark, and realize that with the death of her father, Henry VIII, she became an orphan, and all she did was just trying to keep her head while she was trying to find her place in this world. So it's dark and it's unexpected, I think.
And Tom, your character, Thomas Seymour, is he best described as a power-hungry playboy?
I mean, that's definitely one interpretation, definitely. Yeah, I think he can be seen like that. I think he's incredibly complex. I think that there is more nuance to him than that, but yeah, I think that many in the court at the time would label him as exactly that.
And Alicia, King Henry VIII died, left the country in turmoil. The power grab is immediate. The wheels are turning. I mean, who can you trust in this show?
I think that is actually what made me fall in love with the brilliant script by Anya Rees. The way she describes those relationships between Elizabeth and her siblings, between Elizabeth and Thomas Seymour and Catherine Parr, and everything is so engraved. There is no black and white. There is no hate or no distrust. I think there is always also love. So it's a back and forth, and it's an in between. And I think that is so special, to allow those iconic figures we know from the books to be humans, and to be vulnerable and emotional. And I think it makes it so relatable and different to most of the period dramas I have seen.
Becoming Elizabeth is now on the STARZ network. Now, Tony, what's coming up next on the Stream Squad?
One of the best independent movies of the year, Small Town, Wisconsin.
Hi everyone, I'm film critic Jeffrey K. Howard, and welcome back to the Stream Squad, and I'm joined by film critic Tony Toscano. Now Tony, I understand that Small Town, Wisconsin is considered one of the best independent films of the year.
It truly is. It's critically acclaimed. It has won a lot of film festival awards, and it's all about a father who's trying to be a good dad, but he suffers from alcoholism and depression.
What happened to your car?
Nothing. That happened at work. Can I just come pick up my son for once without getting a third degree?
Sure, when you start acting like a responsible adult.
Watch out for the weird dude below the covers!
Oh! Oh, the weird dude's got me! Oh.
So the script originally came to me through Alexander Payne, as a good friend of mine from UCLA Film School. And he had developed the script with a local Milwaukee writer, who then invited me to do a bit of work on the script and to make it my own and direct the film. I had always wanted to come home and make a film, and so I was thrilled when the script came my way. I kind of grew up with characters like Wayne and like Chuck, and my main goal when putting the film together was to be able to go for a complete authenticity, and I told every financier I met with, for me to pull it off, authentically, which is where the laughter and the tears and just really the grounding of the film are going to come from. The two ingredients for that are, I must shoot in Wisconsin. I cannot shoot Georgia or Canada or New Mexico for Wisconsin. It has to feel, we have to know we're in Wisconsin. And the second important ingredient was casting. And I said, let me cast the right actors who have Wisconsin or small town in their blood and bones. Kristen Johnston grew up in Milwaukee. Tanya Fisher grew up in small town West Bend. Bill Heck is from just south of the border, Illinois, but spent all of his summers in Wisconsin. And Sully here is not from Wisconsin. So we had to teach him how to say oil, but he grew up in small town East Texas. And so he had small town in his blood and bones and was just our perfect Wayne.
David, I'm going to call you Sully now because everybody seems to be doing that. Was it a tough audition process?
You know, as an actor, you get sent certain scripts and certain material that you try, and you have a couple days to either audition or make a tape. And this was no exception. Like I got the script and the material, and I was like, man, this is a great film, but I think they're wanting me to read for the wrong role. I initially read for Chuck, and I had a blast.
He was a great Chuck.
I was a good Chuck, and I read for, I had done it, and I was like, man, I really like this Wayne role. And I contacted my reps and I was like, hey, can we find out like what's going on with Wayne? Have they cast Wayne? Is there an offer out? Can I throw my hat in the ring? And then I got word that the director wanted to meet with me, and I'm like, okay. And the first thing I was going to do was ask for an opportunity to play Wayne. And the first thing that he says to me is, hey, thanks for coming. I got to let you know, I watched your tape, and it made me sick in my stomach. And I'm like, wait a second, what's going on here? And then it was like, because I keep seeing you as Wayne, and I don't know how I'm going to work this out, but I really want you to be Wayne in the movie. And I'm like, oh, yes. So, yeah, I mean, once Niels kind of gave me the opportunity to play that role, it was my responsibility to do my best and to bring everything I could, my history, my past, and my relationships, and my love for my own son. I owed so much, in terms of my abilities to him and to the production. And yeah, I'm really happy with what they allowed me to do.
All right, go like this, right? Now stick your tongue out and roll your eyes in the back of your head. Now you look as dumb as you are.
Small Town Wisconsin is available on all video platforms, and it is truly one of my favorite films of the year. Jeff, I heard that you got a chance to chat with Emma Roberts.
That's right, Tony. Emma Roberts stars in Abandoned, now on demand. It's a thriller about a young couple who move into a remote farmhouse where horrific images of the past come to life.
The city wasn't good for us. We had been dreaming about a place like this for a while now.
This would be the baby's room. The house, it's been listed for a while. Why hasn't anyone bought it?
There was an incident.
We don't want to know.
We do.
The wardrobe, there's a reason it is where it is.
It seems almost like we don't know what's reality or not because she's suffering from mental, maybe postpartum or something like that. So I love how we keep guessing, is she imagining this or is this really happening? So I think that's a great element to the movie.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like what I love so much about this character was that, you're with her, but then you're kind of like, wait, how can I trust her? And all the while she's dealing with that struggle with herself. And I think that I don't know, it just made me really love this character and want to play her. And I also like that by the end of the movie, we don't really know. I think it's open for interpretation, which is what I really like, is that this is definitely not tied in a neat little bow. And so that to me is what always makes the best psychological thrillers where, there's a little wink at the end, well, you decide as the audience what you think was really going on.
And John, Alex is the nervous type. He plays guitar for his newborn. He sings. He's such a sweet guy. He's a country vet. He seems like I don't want to say out of his element, but he just seems like he's so easy to be picked on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he wants he wants things to work out so desperately, and he wants a kind of picturesque, idyllic, happy home life for his family, which is why I think he uproots them and kind of, forces this move out to the countryside that Sarah, his wife, is not entirely on board for, but is trying. Everybody's trying so hard in this script, and I think that's one of the things that's so moving about it to me, was to see these people struggle and try and get knocked around in the process. But yeah, no, I think Alex is he's like, I think underneath his kind of sweetness is this control freak, but he doesn't want to own that, and so he's trying to be hands off, but then ultimately he just ends up kind of clinging very desperately and making the situation kind of worse in the end.
Abandoned is now on demand on all streaming platforms. Tony, what's coming up next? I hear the Force is with you.
It truly is. Coming up next, we're going to take a look at Disney Plus's Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Stream Squad. I'm film critic Tony Toscano, and I'm joined by Jeff Howard in Las Vegas. Jeff, what's new on Disney Plus?
Well, Tony, streaming on Disney Plus, Ewan McGregor returns as the Jedi Master who now lives as a hermit, and sitting down with Rupert Friend, who plays the Grand Inquisitor, a Jedi Knight who's turned to the dark side.
You can't run, Obi-Wan! You can't escape him!
Now, Joby, I have to say right away, I was 11 years old when I saw the original Star Wars in 1977, and I just want to congratulate you on Obi-Wan Kenobi really capturing the nostalgia and that spirit of the original films, which I think has been lacking in a lot of the Star Wars universe lately. But this series really makes me think of my childhood, and I just wanted to say congratulations on that.
Thank you so much. I'm an original trilogy kid too, and got to see them all then too, so that means a lot, because that was the intention, to bring back sort of that feeling and that sort of quiet and elegance and epic feeling of those original films.
Now, Rupert, playing the Grand Inquisitor, tell me about the first time you were in makeup, and how long did it take?
We got it down to 4 hours, but the first time was 6 hours. We did a bunch of tests and experiments with it, but by the end we were down to 4 hours in and an hour out.
And Rupert, did the character really come to life for you once you saw yourself in makeup and full costume?
Yeah, I mean, building a character begins with a great script, such as the one Joby wrote, and then there's collaborations with your director, in this case Deb Chow, which was fantastic. And then there's all the other bits and pieces, the costume, the props, the makeup, the artistry that goes into all of that. So for me, it's very much a team effort.
Now, Joby, coming up with a look for the Grand Inquisitor, was it strictly from the animated series, Star Wars Rebels, or did you kind of make a little adjustments for the series?
Certainly inspired by the animated series and obviously everything that Rupert and Deb developed out of that. But I have to say, it was quite intimidating being next to Rupert on set. It was like being next to a sort of a small car. He was enormous and intimidating. And you very much felt the power of it just being there, and knew that would sort of translate on screen.
They're coming. Stay hidden, or we will not survive.
Now streaming on Disney Plus is Obi-Wan Kenobi, and if you're a Star Wars fan like I am, it is one terrific ride down nostalgia lane. Tony, what's this new thriller coming up on Prime Video?
Well, it's called Chole, and it's all about a woman who leads a very plain life, but decides to change it up by becoming an internet superstar.
I just thought I knew what her life was, but I was completely wrong. Did you speak to her that night?
You ask a lot of questions about Chloe. You like the thrill of it, don't you?
You don't really know me.
Taking a dual role like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde character too has got to be one of the joys of why you do what you do.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And it's so rare. Like, I don't think it quite hits home until after you've finished. I think now I'm like, oh gosh, like roles like that don't come up very often. At least they haven't for me. And I just don't, I think it is the dream. It's the dream to be able to play someone who is so complex and to be able to switch so quickly. It's a dream. And I'm so grateful to have been asked to do it.
Well, the character of Becky, though, let's start with her, because she is easily manipulated by what she sees. She believes what she sees on the net.
Yeah, completely. She's consumed by it, I think. Like, she's so isolated by her life at home that she's just seeking any escapism that's offered to her.
And then Sasha, the other character, is completely immersed in herself.
Oh, yeah. And again, like, it was so much fun to play with those two polar opposites within one human being, because I think what I didn't ever want to do was, I suppose, make caricatures of these people. Like, they're genuine manifestations of subjects and feelings that all live within one human being, and I think we all have that within us.
We got a lot more coming up on the Stream Squad, so don't go away.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Stream Squad. Now, next week, we have a special treat as we go behind the scenes of the new animated film Lightyear.
That's from Disney Pixar, Tony, and I hear the buzz on it is spectacular.
It truly is. Hey, listen, if you'd like to catch up on some of our shows, visit our website. The address is right here.
The Stream Squad. And also, check us out on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We'd love to hear from you. I'm Jeffrey K. Howard in Las Vegas.
And I'm Tony Toscano in Salt Lake City, and we'll see you next week.